one of the biggest things I kept saying was get the kids socialized. You got to keep the kids in school. You got to keep the kids on the playgrounds. You know, they had caution tape around playgrounds.
That's crazy.
And I couldn't even fathom the idea. So basically my house became the playground. So we basically invited all these different families over, let the kids be kids, let the families interact, as long as, you know, like we were not in the fear mongering stages at all. I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, I lived in the Caribbean. You want to talk about weird stuff that comes up? I saw cutaneous TB. I mean, like wild stuff that you'll never see in this country. And so they didn't do things the way anything was going on in 2020. I was not trained to hide in the corner, suck my thumb, and pretend that the world wasn't around me. You know, this is disease, right?
I like it, yeah.
So I opened the door and I said, no, you know, we're treating people. Just come on in.
We'll figure it out.
Come on in. We'll figure it out. Yeah. You know, I might not all know everything, but at least I'm willing to try.
Absolutely.
And so respiratory disease, I know how to treat respiratory disease. Kids are just giant snot mongers, right? For the most part.
That's exactly right.
I mean,
some of their parents.
Yeah. So that's a pretty easy thing for me to take care of. And so I was nipping that in the bud without too much issue. But what was happening was people were walking into my office not knowing what to expect, you know, fully gowned.
In hazmat suits, practically.
Basically. Gloves on their hands, masks on their face, standing outside, huddling their kids. I mean, just projection of fear everywhere. And I would tell them, look, if you're comfortable, take off your mask. I mean, it's not helping you, honest to goodness. And it's making it worse. It's making you worse. It's making your kids worse. Your kids can't see your face. They're not learning your signs and signals just from your facial expressions. This is really bad. You need to stop. So now we've, you know, that stress.
So I would say that is actually potentially amplifying
absolutely
how our bodies then cope with other real world stresses.
Exactly. And kids, you know, especially under the age of 3, they are learning how to read a face. Right? So if you have a mask on, if you're covering half of your face, those children are not assimilating what your eyes, what your forehead, and what your mouth are doing all together.
Essentially, that means that we take a bilingual potential and make them unilingual.
Yeah.